thing by Gauravani Prabhu about this fourth verse, where he says, "I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire." And I was hearing that when people leave their body in India, they generally break open the skull to allow something to come out, like the soul or some essence. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying he'll do this himself. He'll commit his own funeral rites and smash his own head. It's very deep. These disappearance days and our appearance days are very important in our Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. And the Sanskrit term is Tirobhav. So today's the Tirobhav, it's the disappearance day, and for the appearance day, it's called an Anirbhav. And usually we call it a Maha Mahotsav because it's a festival. Oh, that's interesting thing to say. I never heard. I don't know much about the etymology of the words in Sanskrit. Thank you, Prabhu. And so yeah, it's very important for us to observe these festivals and hear about the personalities that are coming at that time, or appeared or disappeared. And actually, within our lineage, these disappearance days are actually more important than the appearance days, which, except if it's a spiritual master. If a spiritual master, it's considered Vyasa Puja, which is one of the most important for the disciple. But for these other acharyas, the disappearance days are most important because this is when all of the pastimes have been revealed. But normally in the material world, when someone leaves the world, we're very much sad, and you don't really celebrate it so much. But for us, we have the opportunity to relish the pastimes and teachings of these previous acharyas. So yeah, Madhavendra Puri's disappearance day today, and I tried to prepare a little something, mostly reading. So got some reading to do and share of one of the main pastimes. But for now, we'll just start with this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gola Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gola Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I'm just going to do it line for line. So I'm going to try, because I'll probably forget the meter. Yasmai datum chorayan shira bandam. Yasmai datum chorayan shira bandam. Gopinata shira chora bidobod. Gopinath chira charobidobod. Shri Gopada Praduras Siddhvashasan. Shri Gopada Praduras Siddhvashasan. Ya Prematam Madhavendram Natosmi. Ya Prematam Madhavendram Natosmi. Yasmai datum chorayan shirabandam. Gopinata shira chora dibut. Shri Gopada Pradura Siddhvashasan. Ya Prematam Madhavendram Natosmi. Yasmai Datu Chorayan Shirabandam Peter Shiratayan Gopala Shima Soshan Yasmai Datum Chora Shiravandam Gopinatha Shira Chodi Vidobhus Shri Gopala Prastusi Sasan Ya Prematam Madhavendram Natosmi Yasmai Datu Chorayan Shirabandam Gopinatha Shira Chobidobhut Shri Gopala Radhurasid Vasasan Yat Prem Natam Madhavendram Natosmi Yasmai Datum Chorayan Shirabandam Gopina Shira Sharobidobhut Shri Gopala Pradurashid Vashasan Ya Prematam Madhavendram Natosmi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I offer by respectful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who was given a pot of sweet rice stolen by Gopinath, celebrated thereafter as Kirachora. Being pleased by Madhavendra Puri's love, Shri Gopala, the deity at Govardhan, appeared to the public vision. Purport by Prabhupada. Bhaktivinoda Thakur annotates that this Gopal deity was originally installed by Raja, the great grandson of Krishna. Madhavendra Puri discovered Gopala and established him on top of the hill. This Gopal deity is still situated at Natdwar and is under the management of the descendants of Vallabhacharya. The worship of the deity is very luxurious, and one who goes there can purchase varieties of prasadam by paying a small price. Om Ganati Mirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kideyamayam Tadati Mahapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Navishesha Shunyavadi Paschatcha Dishatarane Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai. Thank you. So yeah, Madhavendra Puri was born around the 14th century. And actually, there's not much information. I couldn't find much information. And when I checked, I was saying that they don't, when someone takes sannyas, they lose all their social life. So a lot of Madhavendra Puri's younger life was just unknown about. I saw one picture of a cave, and he said that this was his birthplace. I was thinking about trying to. It was in Bangladesh. Have you been there? Have you been? Yeah. Have you been inside? What's it like? What's it like? Like a cave.
It's not actually a cave. It's a royal kutir.
Oh, it's a Bhajan Kutir?
Yes, similar to the kutir of the Guru.
Right, okay.
It's more much bigger.
Yeah. Amazing,
And
yeah.
the divide rate is going down.
Oh, it goes down?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was trying to,
Yes.
I was trying
and,
to make a presentation with pictures. But...
And his temple also there. Actually, it was a it was a like palace of king. His father was
Wow.
like a landlord.
So Madhavendra Puri was born in Bangladesh then, yeah?
Nearby there is place of agriculture.
Yeah.
50 kilometers distance.
Shantipur? Near Shantipur?
No.
Okay.
That is in Tahirpur,
Tahirpur.
Sunamganj.
Thank you, Guru. It's nice. So yeah, he was born in the 14th century, and he had a few disciples, like very notable disciples, like Advaita Acharya was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and Ishwara Puri, which is a disciple of Lord Chaitanya. There's a couple of others. Paramananda Puri, who's mentioned quite a few times in the CC. He's a senior, quite senior, right? Older sannyasi. Brahmananda Puri, Pundarat Vijayanidhi, is that right? And Shri Rangapuri, they're the main ones that we read about, and also Lord Nityananda, which is a kind of a bit of a grey area, because some say he was a disciple of Lakshmipati Tirtha, and some say he's a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat, which we'll read soon. No, that was Lakshmipati Tirtha, right? That took Lord Nityananda on Parikram to the holy places. Was it, or is it? Yeah, because Lord Nityananda went away with the sannyasi from his father. He met Madhavendra Puri in Vrindavan. So we'll read that from Chaitanya Bhagavat soon. So yeah, Madhavendra Puri actually created what we now call a spiritual revolution. This is it's very good, because previously, before Madhavendra Puri, it was mainly just worship of Krishna. Radharani wasn't there in that worship. So it was Madhavendra Puri that introduced the worship of Radha and Krishna together, and he also implemented not implemented is the right word, but made very prominent the Madhurya Ras with our lineage. And I read that he also connected the Madhva Sampradaya, which comes from Madhavacharya, right, and then connected it with the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is quite interesting. So it was a bit of a revolution at the time, because up to Lakshmipati Tirtha, it was just I'm not sure what rasa. I didn't read anything about that, but it wasn't quite prominent, this Madhurya Ras. So it's a little revolution, big revolution. So then I want to jump over to this pastime with Shri Rangapuri. I don't know the pastime so well, because I only just read it like a couple of days ago, a week or two ago. So I'm just going to read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is chapter 9, and this is Lord Chaitanya's traveling around South India. You want to put it on there? I don't mind if you do or not. So Lord Chaitanya went to travel around South India. He said he was looking for his older brother, right? He said he asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya if he could leave to look for his older brother. And really, he was going to preach and share this Krishna consciousness. And a lot of the time, he was converting people, but sometimes he would find a very nice devotee and he'd take lunch at their house. And that was the case with Shri Rangapuri, who's a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. I'm just trying to find where we're starting from. Yeah, so text 285. Start from there. I just start reading anyway. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received word that Shri Rangapuri One of the disciples of Shri Madhavendra Puri was present in the village at the home of a Brahmana. Hearing this news, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went to Sri Rangapuri at the Brahmana's house. Upon entering, the Lord saw him sitting there. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Sri Rangapuri, he immediately offered obeisances in ecstatic love. Falling flat on the ground, the symptoms of transcendental transformation were visible, namely tears, jubilation, trembling, and perspiring. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in such an ecstatic mood, Sri Rangapuri said, "Your Holiness, please get up. Your Holiness is certainly related to Shri Madhavendra Puri, without whom there is no fragrance of ecstatic love." There's a nice purport here. I'll just share the first few sentences because it's very important to the mood of Madhavendra Puri. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati remarks that up to the advent of His Holiness Shripad Lakshmi Tirtha, it was the system in disciplinic succession of Madhavacharya to worship Krishna alone. After Sri Madhavendra Puri worship of both Radha and Krishna was established. For this reason, Sri Madhavendra Puri is accepted as the root of worship in ecstatic love. Unless one is connected to the disciplinic succession of Madhavendra Puri, there is no possibility of awakening ecstatic symptoms of love. It reminds me of what I read from the Gaur Gandesh Deepika. It says that Madhavendra Puri is actually an incarnation of the Kalpavriksha tree, and he's the seed of devotional service. So he started with him starting this Madhurya Rasa, making it more prominent. He was actually the seed of the devotional tree, of which we hear about in one of the chapters in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela. Which chapter is it? Remember? The tree, the Chaitanya tree, is it? Yeah, so Madhavendra Puri was the start. After saying this, Sri Rangapuri lifted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu up and embraced him. As they embraced shoulder to shoulder, they both began to cry in ecstasy. After some moments, they came to their senses and became patient. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then informed Sri Rangapuri about his relationship with Ishvara Puri. They were both inundated with the wonderful ecstasy of love that was aroused in them. And finally, they sat down and peacefully began to converse. In this way, they discussed topics about Lord Krishna continually for 5 to 7 days. Out of curiosity, Sri Rangapuri asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about his birthplace, and the Lord informed him that it was Navadvip Dham. Sri Rangapuri had formerly gone to Navadvip with Sri Madhavendra Puri, and he therefore remembered the incidents that had taken place there. As soon as Sri Rangapuri recalled Navadvip, he also recalled accompanying Sri Madhavendra Puri to the house of Jagannath Mishra, where Sri Rangapuri had taken lunch. He even remembered the taste of the unprecedented curry made from banana flowers. Sri Rangapuri also remembered the wife of Jagannath Mishra. She was very devoted and chaste. As for her affection, she was exactly like the mother of the universe. He also remembered how Sri Jagannath Mishra's wife, Sachi Mata, was expert in cooking. He recalled that she was very affectionate towards the sannyasis and fed them exactly like her own sons. Sri Rangapuri also remembered that one of her deserving sons had accepted the renounced order at a very young age. His name was Shankaranya. Sri Rangapuri informed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the sannyasi named Shankaranya had attained perfection in the holy place, Pandapur. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "In my previous ashram, Sankaranya was my brother and Jagannath Mishra was my father." After finishing the talks with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rangapuri started for Dwarka Dham. It was just nice to see that the Madhavendra Puri had visited the birthplace of Mahaprabhu before he took birth, and visited his parents. So it's nice to see the connection. As soon as they speak about Ishvara Puri and spiritual teacher Madhavendra Puri, they're both experiencing ecstatic symptoms. This is how we should feel when we talk about Vaishnavas, right? Having this inundation of love. So yeah, I want to read it again. Sorry, lots of reading. I hope that's okay. Yeah, this is a Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is the version without the purports from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. It's just the translations. And it's very nice because sometimes to read all the purports by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, they're very intense. It's very scholarly. So from text 153. So this is about the meeting of Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri. Shri Shri Karunitai Mayapur Shashi Ki Jai. So, yeah, not sure about the pastime leading up to this, but we're starting from 154. In this way, Lord Nityananda wondered. By divine arrangement, he saw Madhavendra Puri. I think he's wandering in Vrindavan. Probably should have checked that, but sorry, I didn't. It says, Nirvindra, Payoshni, Reva, Mahismati Puri, Malatirtha. You know these places? Where are they? South India, yeah? Oh, so you met Madhavendra Puri in South India, yeah. In this way, Lord Nityananda wondered. By divine arrangement, he saw Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri's body was filled with love for Krishna. His followers were also filled with love for Krishna in the same way. He tasted only the nectar of Lord Krishna and nothing else. Lord Krishna enjoyed pastimes in Madhavendra Puri's body. Lord Advaita Acharya himself is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. How can I describe the great spiritual love Madhavendra Puri felt? Seeing Madhavendra Puri, Lord Nityananda at once faded out of spiritual love and fell motionless. Seeing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri also fainted. He forgot who he was. Again and again, Lord Chaitanya declared, Madhavendra Puri is the root and trunk of the nectar, Kalpavriksha tree of devotional service. Seeing Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri both unconscious because of seeing each other, Ishwara Puri and the other disciples wept. When they regained external vision, Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri held each other's necks and wept. Tasting the nectar of love for Krishna, the two of them rolled in sand. They called out, overcome with love for Krishna. A stream of love flowed from their eyes. The earth thought herself fortunate to be bathed by that stream. There was no end to the ecstatic symptoms of trembling tears and bodily hair standing erect. Lord Chaitanya enjoyed pastimes in their bodies. Lord Nityananda said, I have visited many homely places. Today I have attained the fruit of all those visits. Today my eyes have seen the feet of Madhavendra Puri. Now I have seen the great spiritual love he bears. My life has become fortunate. Embracing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri gave no answer. His throat was blocked with tears of love. His spiritual love was such that Madhavendra Puri did not let Lord Nityananda leave his chest. Ishwara Puri, Brahmananda Puri, and the other disciples were also filled with love for Lord Nityananda. In the past, Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri had spoke with many saintly persons, but they had never seen this kind of love for Lord Krishna manifested on those persons' body. By speaking with wicked people, they become unhappy. After wandering in the forest, now they could see each other. Now all that unhappiness was destroyed. As they gazed at each other, pure love for Krishna became manifest with them. Lord Nityananda happily spent some days blissfully talking with Madhavendra Puri about Lord Krishna. Madhavendra Puri's descriptions of Lord Krishna was very wonderful. When he saw a dark rain cloud, Madhavendra Puri would fall unconscious. Day and night it was as if he was drunk on love for Krishna. He would laugh, weep, and call out, Hi, hi, hiya, hiya. What does that mean? Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Bengali, right? Hi means, what does it mean? Yes. Hiya. Hiya. Yeah. Yes, yes. Lord Nityananda was also drunk by tasting the nectar of Lord Krishna. Again and again he would tremble and fall to the ground and laugh again. Seeing the wonderful spiritual love of these two, the disciples chanted, Hari, Hari, again and again. Drinking the nectar of love for Lord Krishna, they did not know whether it was day or night, what was the time, or in whose home they were staying. Who knows the conversations Lord Nityananda had with Madhavendra Puri? Only Lord Krishna knows. Madhavendra Puri could not leave Lord Nityananda's company. Again and again he enjoyed pastimes with Lord Nityananda. Madhavendra Puri said, I have not seen this kind of spiritual love. Wherever this love is present, all the holy places stay. Now I know that Lord Krishna is merciful to me. Now I have a friend like Lord Nityananda. If Nityananda is present, there at any places becomes Vaikuntha and all holy places. Whoever hears from a devotee like Nityananda will certainly attain Lord Krishna. Whoever has even a single sesame of hatred for Lord Nityananda will not, even though he may be a devotee, be dear to Lord Krishna. Day and night, Madhavendra Puri spoke with Lord Nityananda in this way. His heart was filled with love for him. Lord Nityananda considered Madhavendra Puri his spiritual master. He did not think of anyone else in this way. Overcome with love for Krishna, these two great souls did not come whether it was day or night. After staying with Madhavendra Puri for some days, Lord Nityananda at last left for Siddhabandha. It's a really nice point that Madhavendra Puri had made. Today I have attained the feat of all those visits of the holy places. And it's, we go to these holy places to get the association of saintly devotees, like visiting different temples as well. We go to get the association of the devotees. Yeah. So what? Yeah, more reading. Yeah. I try not to read this because I did read it over brief. Is the Puri of Lord Ramachandra Puri is so-called Rama from Anchalila, right? It's this pastime with Ramachandra Puri. He was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and he was a big fault finder. So he was always finding fault. He was associating with Mayavadis, so he became very philosophical. I was describing the Chaitanya Charitamrita as dry philosophy. So one time Madhavendra Puri was in ecstasy. He was crying, and Ramachandra Puri started instructing his spiritual master, saying, that's at the end though, the last verse, the verse he was saying at the end of his life. Yeah. I don't remember it, but we'll read it later. Do you remember? You remember it?
Just he says, what I do now,
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't check that out.
Is that right?
You can.
Ramachandra Puri was in Chatila. Ramachandra Puri, the one who was criticizing Madhavendra Puri when he was leaving his body, was he in Chatila?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. It makes sense, right? Yeah. It was Ramachandra Puri was criticizing his spiritual master. I mean, he wasn't directly criticizing; he was trying to instruct. But my understanding is that this is the mentality that helps, that brings us towards criticizing everyone. And then later on in the pastime, he starts to criticize Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. So it goes from fault finding in devotees to instructing the spiritual master and finding faults with the spiritual master, and then it will go as far as to instructing Lord Chaitanya or Krishna himself. So in this chapter there's also the pastime when Madhavendra Puri was leaving his body and Ishwara Puri was setting a good example. So sometimes we have good examples and sometimes we have bad examples in devotional service. Ramachandra Puri was a bad example of how we should practice. And then Ishwara Puri, he was cleaning up the stool of his spiritual master and looking after him when he was leaving his body. And there's a nice verse in that chapter that says that these two examples were there to show the whole world how to behave. Ramachandra Puri was. There's even a picture. There's a picture in the Anchalila of him trying to instruct, chastise Lord Chaitanya. He doesn't look very good, like this,
Says he met him in Gaya.
Gaya.
Is that Gaya?
Gaya. He met who? Met Lord Nityananda.
No, Lord Chaitanya. The first time he met Madhavendra Puri was
in Gaya. Wow.
He was doing the funeral rites for his father.
Right. Oh yeah.
How's that sad?
Well, he met with Lord Nityananda in the south. He met with Lord Nityananda in the south.
That's like in Nepal.
So yeah, there's nice things to take away from Shri Madhavendra Puri, how to behave and how not to behave, and also not to find faults in devotees, which I'm very faulty of myself. But yeah, it goes from one level to the next. It's like explain like the mad elephant devotional service. He just doesn't know when to stop. He just goes forward and forward. So and then we got the best. Yeah, I mean this is like what you say, the creme de la creme of Madhavendra Puri's pastimes and teachings is the care chore Gopinath pastime. Madhavendra Puri he travelled to Vrindavan. He was doing parikram of Govardhan, and at the end of the parikram, he was taking rest and chanting his japa in Govindakund. And Govindakund is the place where Krishna met with the Surabhi cow and Indra before at the end of the pastime of Govardhan, the lifting of the hill, and Indra was asking for. Indra was asking for forgiveness, and then afterwards they give Abhishek to Lord Krishna as well. So it's a nice significance there, because so during Madhavendra Puri's he's chanting japa and he's fasting as well. He couldn't take rest and he couldn't sleep. So he's just chanting all night, and then eventually he oh wait, no, that was before. So yeah, he was fasting. And then a young boy comes up to him with some milk in a pot, and he says, "Oh, no one fasts in my village. No one fasts, so I brought you some milk." And this is very condensed. You have to read the whole chapter. The whole chapter on this pastimes. It's very sweet. So he brings some milk, and actually Madhavendra Puri was very attracted to this young boy, and he's thinking, "Well, why am I so attracted to this young boy? I'm a sannyasi. It shouldn't happen." And then he drank. The boy went away, and he said he was going to come back for the container. So he drank the milk, and he continued to chant his japa, and then he fell asleep. And he was having a dream, and actually Krishna came to him in the dream. Gopal came and said, "Oh, that was me. That was me. It was your Gopal." And he says, I am hidden in the bushes. I've been there for a very long time, because there was some attack by the Mughals, and they had to hide the deity of Gopal. So he was hidden in the bushes. And so they showed him where he was, and Madhavendra Puri went to the village to tell everyone where the deity was, and they all went looking for the deity, and they found this deity of Gopal in the bushes. And then they installed the deity, or reinstalled the deity on top of Govardhan Hill, and performed this Anukut ceremony. This is the festival that we do on Govardhan Puja, offering lots and lots of food. And so for about 2 years they performed the puja and of Gopal, and then Madhavendra Puri passed it over to his disciples, and then he had another dream, and 2 dreams. This is his second dream, and then Gopal had said to him, "I'm still very hot. I'm overheating from so long of being in the bushes and being attacked by all these weathers, this hot weather and rain. So please go to Jagannath Puri and get some sandalwood pulp to cool my body down." So yeah, Madhavendra Puri woke up and thought, "Okay, I'll make all the arrangements." So he arranged to travel over to Jagannath Puri, where they have a huge supply of sandalwood paste. And then on the way, there's a place called Ramuna. Where is Ramuna exactly? It's in Orissa. Or
It is the place where kids are.
Yeah. So we went. We went to Ramuna. The time it was a town or a village. Village, yeah. So it was a village, and there's this temple there. Madhavendra Puri could see that the worship was going on very nicely. So he understood that the prasadam that was being offered was very, very good. He was speaking with the Brahmin of the temple, and he found there was putting the sweet rice on the altar at the time, and Madhavendra Puri was meditating and thinking, oh, it'd be very nice to know how this tastes so I can offer this to my Gopal. But then he realized that he was trying to taste it before it was offered. So he found that it was a great offense. He thought he was being offensive. And so he left very fast. And he went to the marketplace or something of Ramuna. And he was fasting. He was fasting again. But he wasn't fasting as such, but he refrained from begging. So if any food came, he'd take the food. Yeah. And then he was chanting his japa, and then that night the Brahmana had gone to take rest, and he had a dream as well. So Gopinath had come to him in a dream. He said, "My disciple Madhavendra Puri his desire was to taste this sweet rice, so I've hidden it underneath my dressing cloth, my altar cloth. Please take it and take it to him." So the Brahmana took bath, went to the temple, and he got the kheer, and then he's going out shouting out to where is this man Madhavendra Puri? And he finds him, gives him the kheer, explains the story, and they were both in ecstasy. So he had the sweet rice, and then he broke it up into little pieces, and then he was taking pieces of the pot every single day, like it was Mahaprasad, so he was getting these ecstatic symptoms. But that evening, he realized that everyone was going to find out about this experience, this pastime. So he quickly left because he didn't want the reputation. He didn't want to be seen as a great devotee. He didn't want lots of people coming. So he quickly left Ramuna to carry on his journey to Jagannath Puri. And then when he got to Jagannath Puri, again, of course, the word travels fast, right? Word travels fast, so everyone in Jagannath Puri already knew what had happened, but he had his service to do, so he couldn't not go into Jagannath Puri. He had to do his service, so he had to go in and kind of take that reputation of being a great devotee just so he could serve his deity. So I found that quite interesting. It was two sides, not wanting the fame but having to accept it just to continue with his service. So when he got to Jagannath Puri, he approached the government and explained what was happening, and they gave him everything they need, all of the sandalwood paste, and also give him some Brahmins to help carry all the paste. So on the way back, he went to Ramuna, and then he got to Ramuna and he had another dream, and then Gopal was in his dream. So this is a third dream now, and he said, "You can actually just offer all of this sandalwood paste to Gopinath, because Gopinath and myself, we are non-different." So he offered all of the sandalwood paste to Gopinath, and that way he didn't have to travel all the way from Ramuna to Vrindavan, which meant he would have had to gone through Muslim ruled countries where there would have been lots of taxes and just lots of difficulties for Madhavendra Puri to take. And so Gopal had saved him from that difficulties. So this pastime there's a whole chapter on it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Lord Chaitanya was saying that his love is so exalted. So he got the story from Ishwara Puri and then passed it on to his devotees. So it seems it's a story that's like parampara. We have to keep passing it on. So maybe next year Rainus can pass it on. I mean, we've heard it every time, So, And any comments or questions?
Before the worship of Radha and Krishna, were there any? It says there was only ecstatic symptoms when there was worship of Radha Krishna. So when the devotees were just worshipping Krishna, were there no ecstatic symptoms?
Yeah. Well, do we get ecstatic symptoms outside of Madhurya Ras, or is it just pass it over? Sankirtan Nitai.
Well, even Daruka was fanning, and he couldn't continue fanning, or he was annoyed at his ecstasy.
Yeah, I mean, I was considering this earlier as well, because I did read that this was like the start of Madhurya Rasa, or at least of this within our sampradaya. But then we think about Krishna's times and the experiences with the Rajavasis, and they were definitely experiencing Madhurya Rasa and Vipalamba as well. So it must have been there when Krishna was around.
Yeah, I mean, as a glorification of Madhavendra Puri, you could say there was no ecstatic symptoms, meaning there was no ecstatic symptoms as ecstatic as these ecstatic symptoms.
Yeah, it must have been a completely different level, right? Yeah, so there's a nice verse, there's a very important verse that Madhavendra Puri said at the end of his life. He left his body with this verse on his tongue. Did have it here. Do you know the verse, Sankirtan? It's actually a verse that was spoken by Srimati Radharani, and it's mainly about separation. It's at the end of this pastime with Ramachandra Puri. I wouldn't be able to find it. I should have wrote it down, really. I've got a question for the esteemed Vaishnavas.
It's Madya Leela, chapter 4, text 197.
Oh, 197, it's in there as well.
Ai dina dayadra natahe matura nata kadavalokshe. Yes, Vidayam twadaloka kataram daita brahmyati kim karami aham. Oh my Lord, O merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now?
Yeah, that's very deep. This is a mood of separation. Madhavendra Puri was leaving.
When the devotees have a disappearance day, then do they celebrate the disappearance day in the spiritual world? Because they go back.
They're having a big party and we're all crying. Yeah, I'd imagine there's a festival, right? There's a festival every day. And that's the best thing about our Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar is every day is a festival. There's so many things happening. Yeah. Jai. Madhavendra Puri ki jai. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Thakurs ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.
Ishana ki jai.